Hello, 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 ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys are doing great and well. And you're awesome. You're here to watch match day 14 of the Premier League. Not a proper weekend, but a football madness that is actually itself in the midweek. A lot of the leagues playing around the globe are playing right now fixtures in the mid-league. Italy, France, Spain, England, no less, as we are watching the game right now. And whatever it is, Chelsea are desperate for points and they have to get them. That goes without saying. Chelsea, of course, with a lack of lot of players due to the injuries, but quality doesn't always means that you miss out on the big games. Chelsea have a huge squad depth and they would actually love to improve on their record right now. They are only 1 point clear on the top of the table, and Liverpool are playing almost after 45 minutes. They play against Everton in the Merseyside derby, and it's a crucial one for them. Everton are very much desperate to get a point as well. Everton only 2 points from the last possible 21 points available in the game, and they would really want to bounce back, especially against their arch rivals Liverpool. And anything can happen though. And this time around, Chelsea, six changes. Christensen comes back on the side, and again, Saul plays, Pulisic plays, Havertz in, Mount in, and no Jorginho, no N'Golo Kante, no Kovacic, all due to the injuries. Jorginho only makes the bench. Lukaku still not fit actually to start the game, but is on the bench. Werner felt some discomfort in his, of course, the hamstring, and he's out again. So, as a precaution, there are more chances that he will be missing the weekend game as well. So, it remains to be seeing that, of course, in the latter stages of the season, as we are progressing, who will actually be available for Thomas Tuchel to make a proper selection. That this is my exact 11 that I would be want to playing in a lot of competitions, and I think it's early in the season, but Chelsea have to find that rhythm because there are a lot of games actually to play for. Doesn't matter the size of the squad because you have to be consistent and get the result on the board. And lads, if you're new around here, we are watching Chelsea versus Watford, and Watford versus Chelsea. It's away, of course. It's at Vicarage Road, and Chelsea, match day 14 of the Premier League. They have all the work to do. They would not really want actually to be disappointed because there is a lot of competition down the breathing order, pecking order. I'm sorry, not the breathing order. The lot of competition because a lot of sides are breathing down them on the pecking order. So let's see what happens. It's kickoff time. Here's Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Hopefully, Ruben Loftus-Cheek has a decent game because it has been a while since he has been playing now, so he should be in a good nick. And of course, he's being deployed in more of a deeper role that Jorginho does. And of course, Saul Loftus-Cheek, you have to ask that whether it will be good defensively or no. But it is Chelsea that will decide actually if they can hold their composure, because on nights like these, easily the games are lost. Is Marcus Alonso losing the ball and recovering it? And Watford have it back. Wow, so easily. Here's Tom Cleverley. Man, Tom Cleverley, by the way, what a guy. Such a great guy, such a great player, phenomenal. A lot of time have been poised out of the teams and forced out of the clubs like Man United, of course, went to West Brom. Didn't work out well for him in the Championship, but here again, back in the Premier League, and who can deny that, man? He's playing superb. And of course, you saw the performance against the likes of United. These guys put on a show, so Watford is not an easy team to beat. Watford at home are very good, and they would really want to keep up that momentum. Similarly, for the likes of the manager, Claudio Ranieri, always a big name, but he said that we are an underdog team. So let's see what actually happens on the pitch because their players are really up for a beating. And Ranieri is actually capable of beating Chelsea. He has done with the Leicester. Pulisic, by the way, starting on the left hand side. Kyle Hudson-Odoi given a deserved rest after a huge run of the games. Here's Azpilicueta playing as a right wing back though. So far, 2 minutes on the clock only, and Watford are not giving Chelsea a breathing space. They are almost on the toes every time, and it is on the likes of Azpilicueta and Alonso actually to deal well. While I said Alonso, he just miscues his clearance, and the ball goes out for the Watford throw-in. So both of these wing backs are very slow. Relatively, one of the more notable absentees, Reece James. He's felt a quiet nick, and he's actually out. So that's a blow for Chelsea. Hopefully, he'll be back on the weekend. Wow, Alonso here out muscle. Wow. João Pedro with the effort, and Chalobah blocks it. Mendy had no idea that was going on the target. Chalobah put his foot behind it and actually cleared the ball. Sort of unbalanced, but he did manage to get something behind it. Yep, that's solely Chalobah making a block. The keeper applauding it. So Watford taking Chelsea in their own half. Havertz clears. Havertz, of course, returning after a run of games missing. So it will be a game for him to test, of course, but he really has to perform and go up and running, man. That's all you can say, because in the games like these, you have to step up no matter wherever you are and wherever you're coming from. So be ready always. That's what only I want to say. Watford, man, is no better time to play Chelsea right now, right? Kind of mentally unstable, a lot of injuries, not really performing up to the mark of the recent performances. And then again, there are times in the game when they lose their concentration, and Watford might try to take an advantage of it and capitalize on it. Here's the game. Christian Pulisic is running out of the space and losing the ball in the process. So the weakness of Watford is actually behind, running down the lines. Like last weekend when Leicester played Watford, Jamie Vardy had a ball. He kept running behind the lines and it was amazing. Sorry. By the way, lads, if you're new around here, of course, like the stream, subscribe. It helps the channel to grow massively. And of course, you being here alone is a massive up in itself. As we were talking about, Christensen goes down and gets a hit on the face. Referee has to acknowledge and stop it as it is a head injury, and he's receiving the treatment now. Christensen, of course, recently involved in a lot of contract talks. I don't know what made them stall actually, because that is the only reason that Thomas Tuchel said that he has been missing the last 2 games because his contract situation is ongoing. But the news on the background is that it is positive and everything will be agreed. And there was just a bit of, what do we call it? It's not miscommunication, just a gap between the communication right now that when the deal will be put to paper. So that's about it. But Christensen is back and he's now playing as a central midfielder. Sorry, central defender or center half in the center position. Of course, Thiago Silva given the right lead rest, and Chalobah retains his place. That's impressive. 4 or 5 games running now. Here's Mosford crossing. Wow, Mendy, what a save. João Pedro, man. I remember Richarlison coming to Stamford Bridge for 4 or 5 years, I think, when Chelsea was having a very bad run actually in the Premier League under the Mourinho season. That was when he got sacked, and Richarlison scored a banger. João Pedro reminds me of similar fashion. A Brazilian guy, a young player, and never shying off taking his opportunities. So you can always say that, yeah, this guy is up for a challenge. Pulisic take the ball from Havertz. Can Pulisic make something of it? Wow. He gets hit in the face. Pulisic trying to nibble around the players. Pulisic very clever with it, but this time around catches his arm in the face. The Watford player, actually his knee, not even the arm. I'm glad that that's not a harmful blow, man. In replay, it looked much more worse. Mendy, brilliant save, man. Spidey sense. But Mendy also had his moment in the last game against Man United. Again, as I was talking about Mendy, he almost messed it up. Watford, wow, brilliant one-touch football from Watford. Here's João Pedro trying to cross, but Rudiger blocks it. So, the games like these, midweek, even though you don't have the squad at the fullest strength, it's like, yeah, it's not happening, man. Mendy there, man, almost on the verge of getting caught, but Rudiger came out to his rescue, and that's about it. He got bailed out. What a let-off though for Chelsea. Cleverly first time cross. Mendy safe hands here. I hope, man, these guys can regain their confidence back. Wow. It looked like it looks like Mendy has injured himself. He falls down. He's asking for the referee to stop the play and he's kicked the ball out. Just colliding with the Watford player, trying to catch the ball. He catches it, but he actually collides with the player first. Now, it will be a huge blow if Mendy has to be substituted. Injuries couldn't have come at a worse time for Chelsea, but it really would be a huge blow if they have to deal again with one more injury in the goalkeeper because he is one of the crucial parts. It's good that he's got up on his feet. He's trying to walk it off, that blow. 8 minutes or so on the clock. The match will start with a drop ball, and it does. He's receiving boos from the Watford crowd. I don't know for what actually. I think for Chelsea, it's more like not losing the concentration, but not finding the actual rhythm to actually play the game with. Because the injuries have really hit them hard. Chop and change, chop and change. Usually it works with Chelsea, but actually it is a lot of personal having a lot of chop and change. So it sometimes doesn't look very well, but if you can get the result, no one is going to ask you anyhow that how did you manage to get the win. At the end of the day, it is all about 3 points. And in the league, where the likes of Liverpool and Man City are breathing down your neck, level with the points on you, it's going to be hard, man. It's going to be hard. Here's Sissoko. Messina, first time cross. Mendy takes it again. Well, here's Messina having a problem here. He's asked the ref stop the play. And the Watford player will receive the treatment now. Messina, by the way, was an injured out before this game, but he has played. And as soon as he actually crossed, he pulled up. I think that it is a hamstring problem because he's holding his calf and he straight away gestured to the bench. No, it's not good. Watford might be forced into an early substitution here. Wow, I think there is something else that has happened on the ground. Rodiger and the Watford players are gesturing toward the right side of the field. Yep, I think something bad has very happened in the stands actually. Yep, I think it is someone from the crowd. Hopefully he's well. Man, I saw that in the Newcastle and the Tottenham game. One of the guys collapsed in the stands and they had to use a defibrillator. Sorry, I'm not familiar with the word. Whatever it was. I hope he's fine. Danny Rose will be coming on, by the way. Danny Rose would not shy away from scoring against Chelsea or providing an assist. Former Tottenham man, of course. I just hope that someone in the stands is actually well. Because all of the players were rushing so fast. And it looks like Messina is done for the night. Only 10 minutes in the game. What a shame though. Yeah, that definitely seems like a hamstring injury. Messina might be out for a few weeks or months maybe. Defibrillator. I think that's the term that they're talking about. Yeah, I think the players are going back to the tunnel. It's only 12 minutes only, and it looks like a situation that is very unfortunate because in the crowds, the player is receiving the treatment, and it is not something of a good sign right now. I don't know what is actually happening because there are no cameras actually on the right hand side of the stadium, so they're actually well and truly unsettled by the news, and they are labeling it as a medical emergency. Yeah, and the both sides of the players are back in the dressing room. The referee just called both of these captains, and both of them are inside. On one of the football application, it says aborted. What do you mean by aborted? Man, aborted is a very big term to use. How they're associating with something like a football game. I hope there is nothing as sort of a fake news, something inside that thingy. But anyhow, we have to wait as the thing stands. It says aborted. Let's check the Twitter actually what is happening around there. We don't want absolutely anything bad, of course, to happen on the field. Still no news actually on what is happening. But they are just labeling it as there is a break in the play due to a medical emergency, of course, only in the crowd. And hopefully everything will be sorted out because these are the signs that no one would absolutely want to see, man. Because the last time that happened in the Newcastle Tottenham game, it was really, really bad. Wow, someone said that it is a heart attack. A fan in the crowd has had a heart attack. It has been reported by Prime Video Sport. A person in the crowd has suffered heart attack in the Watford crowd. That's something of a very serious concern. I hope they're okay. It has been just reported breaking news. If you are just reading it, match stopped because I'll just post it in the chat. Hopefully these guys will be fine, man. Such a bad thing, man. Such a bad thing. I hope some good news emerges after the short break that we are having here. And the fan is stable, hopefully. But heartbreak, the fact that it's saying heartbreak on Prime Video Sports doesn't sound good. So many incidents in the past 1.5 year, man. Christensen, the same in the crowd, and of course we saw the Newcastle and Tottenham game, and again here, and it really, really hurts, man. By the way, lads, if you've just tuned in, we were watching Watford versus Chelsea. The currently situation is play has been stopped because there has been a potential case of a heartbreak in the stands. Sorry, a heart attack in the stands. I'm sorry. I have to put my words better. I'm sorry. I'm just so messed up in my mind right now because it's so shocking. I saw the same incident happen in Tottenham and the Newcastle game, and once again, man, it has been suspended. Hopefully, the guy who just suffered that problem is okay, and I just hope that it's not heart attack. It's really heartbreaking, man. Life is unfair, right? Anything can happen to anyone. These guys, so far, there are no further updates actually. I'm just refreshing, scrolling my Twitter feed. Hopefully, something comes out. They've cut short the stream. The stream is not playing actually. They have put in a image and it says nothing. It says that the coverage will be resumed shortly. But the latest that I heard from the Prime Video Sports was match temporarily suspended due to a medical emergency and concerns about a potential heart attack to a fan in the stands on the right hand side of the stadium. It was only 12 to 13 minutes in the game, actually. Injuries took place. It was with Messina on the Watford side, and again, they were substituting him, and all of a sudden, it was pointed out by Rudiger and Josh King, I think, on the right hand side of the pitch. They pointed out to the ref that someone actually has collapsed in the stands, and people were screaming. So the ref had to actually run on the side, and the medical team was rushed on the spot. So it's good from their part. I think it was Rudiger, and I think Josh King for sure that actually alerted the ref, like the other day when Reguilon did in the game of the Newcastle and Tottenham, when one of the players pointed out in the stands that, yeah, a fan has collapsed. But man, it's heartbreaking to see the situation. In the past 2 years, we have had the trauma of Christensen and the guy that we saw against the Tottenham and the Newcastle game, and then this. Hopefully, this guy is fine. Like I said, if you're joining just in, they have been reporting a heart attack case. That is a potential that has happened because that's bad, man. Football, 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 football. Yeah, but nothing is more important than sports, man. By the way, we have just received the news, guys, that the players will be judged on in about 5 minutes. And as soon as the incident took place, it was pointed by the ref and Sissoko, the current captain, and again, Aspilicueta was pointed out and brought to their dugouts that you have to actually go in, and we're not going to actually resume with the play before the treatment is provided to the guy on the right side of the stand. And I hope that guy has been taken to the hospital and will be stable soon because it's really heartbreaking. Yep, and it looks like the play will be resuming soon. And yeah, the game is going to resume soon, which is a good news because Danny Rose has just come out to warm up and he'll replace Messina. Like we said, Messina suffered a hamstring injury, so that is a forced substitution that Watford have to make. But anyhow, that is a substitution that will be a sign that the play is going to resume soon. Hopefully, man, everything's fine. Sorry. Dan McGinn. Yeah, it will start now. Yeah, bro, it will start now. How are you, man? Welcome to the stream. I hope you are well. If you have just tuned in, lads, we are watching Watford versus Chelsea. Temporary stoppage due to a fan suffering a potential heart attack in the stands, and the referee has alerted everyone that the match will not begin unless a treatment is provided. And so far, as things are happening, treatment has been provided to the plan, and I think he's potentially on his way to the hospital, or he might be actually in the hospital now by the time that we are talking. And hopefully that he's in stable condition. And the reports are also that the match will resume soon, so players will be back on the pitch sooner than later. So hopefully we'll have a game. That's tragic, man. Yep, Prime Video Sports has again reported that the players will be back on 5 minutes. Actually, it is now being reported it was Marcus Alonso who actually alerted the refs that someone has collapsed in the stands. Nothing so far in terms of any input of the video on stream right now because it's just the news that I'm reading off the Twitter. By the way, lads, if you have just tuned in, we were watching Watford versus Chelsea, and temporarily the match has been halted as a result of a medical injury in the crowd, and the players have been sent into the tunnel. But as reported latest by the Prime Video Sports, one of those things, the patient actually suffered a heart attack, and it has been now 5 to 7 minutes, and it is being reported again by Prime Video Sports that the player should be out by the 5-minute marks again. Hopefully, the play will resume soon, but they actually want to make sure that the guy is okay and he's receiving the proper attention. Yeah, and again, the latest we have again from Prime Video Sports Pundits that the players won't actually come out until they have a definite update on the fans' condition. The play will not be resumed unless and until there is a proper update on the condition of the fan from the hospital where he has been taken to. And it's fair enough, man. You actually don't want to be playing games when it is the matter of someone's life. Football is all a lovely common sport. We love it, but nothing comes before life, man. Nothing comes before life. So here it is. Yeah, and again, it is reporting by Prime Video Sports once again that it is positive. Feedback seems to be positive, and the guy is actually in stable position. They are reporting that the guy is actually in stable position. The pundits are talking about it, and hopefully, it will be more good news to follow up as the players might come on actually on the pitch. And there will be a 5-minute warm up before the players actually come on to go and play on the pitch, just because went off. Makes sense totally. But it has been imminently clear that the players will not come out unless they are provided a proper update. That is their stance. Otherwise, it has been cleared and made the statement has been made by the Prime Video's post that there will be a 5 minute warm up and the players must be out soon. So there is a possible hope that yeah, they are receiving the reports that the patient that has been taken to the hospital is in stable conditions. So we hope that it is similar to something that we are actually hearing and seeing on Twitter. Again, there are more reports coming out that a fan has received a fan. Wow, the fan who suffered the heart attack was given a CPR by medical staff and has been stabilized. So we hope that it's all right. He's all right. I'm sorry. Come on. Give us a positive update, man. We are all awaiting. We are all waiting at the similar time. Yeah. So again, guys, once again, our latest update. The fan is now stabilized and an ambulance will come into the ground and the players are happy to come back once the fan has gone into the ambulance. That is the thing. Hopefully, it should be all right, man. Um, yep. More and more popular accounts are reporting that the fan has been stabilized and he's being taken to the hospital for sure. And the player's only condition is that, yeah, that has to happen. We'll come on the pitch. Okay, so no further updates after this. I'm assuming that this is the last one and this is the final one. Actually, yeah, this is the one. So the players will be back. This will be a long, long night, man. The patient is being carried out now. So yeah, it's happening. So the patient is being carried out now as we are talking, and he will be in the hospital soon. This will be a long night, long night. If you are me, who is someone from Asia, yeah, for sure. For someone in the Europe, it might be, yeah, just nearer than 11 or maybe 11 and a half on the clock. But for us, it's 1:30 a.m., my friend, right now. By the way, lads, if you've just tuned in, we are watching Watford versus Chelsea, and apparently stoppage. Like I've said, you can check on the chat side. The update is there, and the players will come out soon to play as the situation has been almost cleared out, and the fan has been stabilized by the medical teams of the Chelsea and Watford. And he was given CPR, and now he's being taken, of course, to the hospital. Oh man, it's been a long, long day. Hopefully that fan stays good. That is all what you want at the end of the day. Life over football, that's for sure. Wow, it has been more than now 20 minutes almost that we are waiting actually the players to come out. As the situation stands, it has been clear that the players will come out, will have a 5-minute warm up before the start of the game, and then again, as the only condition stated was the players want that the man is okay actually after receiving the treatment, and so it is seemingly that yeah, he will be soon taken to the hospital, and as we are talking, he might be actually in the hospital by that time, and hopefully it will happen. And yeah, we have just received the player update, guys. The players are back on the field and the warm-ups are underway before the play resumes. So that's a very good news, and that's something that we would want to hear because that is grading. Good to hear, man. Good to hear. Yeah, and the stream has just resumed as well. The players are taking on the field, and yeah, that's great news, man. Hopefully, the guy who suffered the cardiac arrest is just fine. And kudos to the team of Watford and Chelsea. And of course, especially Marcus Alonso, who pointed out to the refs that there is actual emergency because it is a situation of life and death, man. Heart attack, you are late 1 or 2 seconds, it could really change your situation. But due to the lack of facilities sometimes in the stadium, it can really cost your life. But it's very unfortunate, man, if that happens. But it's in the fortune of that man. That was taken well care of, and hopefully everything will be fine. And by the way, lads, if you have just tuned in, we were watching Watford versus Chelsea. It has been stopped by a unfortunate event, but we are soon going to be on track and the play will resume soon. It was around 12 minutes on the clock mark that play stopped. It was due to the Messina's injury, who was taken off due to the hamstring injury. Danny Rose will come on, and then again the play will resume. But so far the story of the game, it looked like Watford was actually pushing on Chelsea's toes, and it was very much Watford's game. And really, it looked like they were taking the game to Chelsea, because Chelsea, a lot of chop and change. 6 changes in total, and it really looked like it couldn't come at a worse time, because changing is personal, not only actually in terms of, just shape shifting. It's actually costing them a lot of goals. Chelsea without Reece James and Chilwell just feel like they don't have a lot of creativity in them. They don't have a lot of pace in them, because who comes in? Marcus Alonso and Azpilicueta. Both of these guys are just relatively not just that fast, man. Alonso, a menace when he comes to attack, when he's on the box. That's good. But defensively, a bit meh. And the pace is not there. And then again, Azpilicueta, we know he is not suited to play as a wing back, but here we are. We don't have the players, actually, the luxury of the players. And Jorginho just got a knock, just good enough to be on the bench. Werner, potentially again. Here's Thomas Tuchel said that, yes, he's against suffered a knock. And Kovacic is still out. Lukaku still only just fit to be on the bench. Not enough, actually, minutes in his tank to start the game. So he might have to wait till the weekend, actually, for Romelu Lukaku to make his full start. But by the way, Kai Havertz comes in. But it is again after the 2-match absence. So this might again take some time for get him going. So it is actually a lot, man. A lot to ask for Chelsea players actually to deliver right now. It's again a new midfield as well. Saul is in. Ruben Loftus-Cheek is in. And I think the game that I saw against United, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, although there were not a lot of positives, not a lot of negatives, that circus goal, I would just label it as a circus goal. It was a mess. But Loftus-Cheek, he dribbles a lot. He uses his body well, and that's good. But when you do that in your own half, that is actually when you're at risk of losing the ball, because we don't have Jorginho today, we don't have Kante today, so that might actually come to haunt you. And these Watford guys are quick. They play very good on the break. You saw against the likes of Man United players, Dennis, Pedro, João Pedro, and again on the right hand side, Joshua King. These guys won't miss, man. And Chelsea, they've had a history of actually losing points in these kind of the games. That is where actually the story comes in, when you're going to lose a league title or no. But believe it or not, it has happened before. Chelsea have lost these kind of games, and that is what have actually prevented them from winning any kind of a Premiership medal, we call it, in the past few seasons. So consistency the key here, and right now they're on the top of the table, but it's only 1 point, man, friend. It's City's difference, and Liverpool, of course, just 1 point again. But hopefully Chelsea can get something on the board and get going, because it's really going to be messy if you drop points today. If you really don't get some points, it's really going to be messy. Although Liverpool are playing Everton, but I don't think Everton will cause them any trouble in hindsight. And by the way, as we were talking about, Everton had a late kickoff tonight against Liverpool, but it looks like, it will be almost similar to the game time as Chelsea. By the way, Chelsea haven't had anything. I think they haven't had a touch inside the Watford's box, if I'm to be very sure about the stats that I remember. On the first 12 minutes of the game, it has been all Watford in the Chelsea's half. They haven't linked up Chelsea players to go up the upside of the pitch. So let's see what happens. I think the warm-ups is done now. Warm-up is very much done. The players will take the field and the game will resume soon. Thomas Tuchel still looking very much animated, talking on the sidelines. Wants always more and more of his team, and absolutely wants them to do the right thing and just not get dominated. That is the last thing that he would want, because that is the not kind of a team he's building. Not the kind of the team he's building, I'm sorry. I think he would have used this brief spell of period actually to give some sense, talk some sense into his players that what were you actually doing wrong. But it's good. Players are smiling back again. Hopefully the situation behind the scenes is good. The guy who suffered the heart attack is actually in good hands and is being taken care of. And everything can actually go on as planned. Yep. Now the both sides assistant coaches are coordinating with the Watford bench and as well as the referee, the fourth official, and actually saying that yeah, the 5 minutes are up for the warm up, so that we must be good to go now. By the way, lads, if you're new around here, drop the like on the stream, subscribe. It helps the channel to grow massively, and just your presence here is also absolutely a big dub here for me, and I would love that. Yep, just heard the whistle. I think the game is about to restart and it will be on soon again, as all the players are now taking the center stage. And the play will resume with a drop ball. Yep. Just before the 12-minute mark on the clock, the match will resume. The ball will be dropped onto the feet of Aspilicueta, where Messina got injured. And that's it. First of all, the change will happen. That is Danny Rose will come in. Here we are. Danny Rose on. And it's about to be kickoff time, lads. Wow. My eyes, man. Almost. Danny Rose, a former Spurs man, won't shy away from scoring against Chelsea. So you best believe it, or putting in his best performance, if not just scoring goal. The drop ball will happen and the ball will be given to Mendy. And here we go. The match is resuming about 45 minutes later, regardless. Here we are. And yes, it is. The play starts. And the play starts. Pulisic has the ball. Trying to cross and get Alonso on the run, but he cannot. Here's the Watford team with the ball. Rudiger doing well there, but ref blows for a free kick straight away. And chance for Watford actually get the ball inside Chelsea's half with a set piece. Wow, a quick free kick. And Joshua King actually fouls Christensen. And the ref blows for the whistle again in Chelsea's favour this time. And it's a quick back and forth thing now. Exchanging fouls, both of these teams. And Watford still looking fresh. Chelsea still haven't ventured into Watford's half very deep here. It's not very good, man. The Sal's movement, I'm not really enjoying it. He just booted the ball on the right hand side. It was not a pleasant thing to watch. It was going nowhere near anything. Here's Joao Pedro. Wow, it's all happening for Watford players now. The double ricochet and everything, the deflections, everything coming back to them. Wow, Sissoko, what a ball into his feet. Watford crosses, Saul clears. Rudiger, wow, put into jeopardy there by Pulisic, but wow. Chelsea just got better of Watford there for a second almost. As soon as Alonso comes out of that gap on the left hand side, they try to turn him because he's very slow there. Once he's turned, there's no chance he's catching you. On the other side, if you just lose him. Wow. Rudiger applauding Alonso here, telling his man not to give up. Saul. He has to be much more fluid and quicker while moving. Chelsea not using the ball very well here, I must say. No touches inside the opposition's box. That's a big yikes. Chelsea without Chilwell and Reece James is like a Ferrari with bicycle tires. Here's Dodiger again, losing the ball this time. Wow, getting nutmegged there. Saul does well there, but at the end he has to settle for a free kick there. And he's booked as well. I'm not sure that was a free kick, man. I'm not sure that was a free kick, but he has been booked. Saul doesn't look comfortable in the midfield. That's all I can point out easily. It doesn't look good like this. Tactically, on the nights like these, you can be all over the place, and I think it will be a night like this for Chelsea because I really don't have that feeling. Hopefully, they'll just sort it out. I'm sorry. Here's a Watford player with the free kick, very much in the scoring distance. Can be anyone. Tom Cleverley, or Louza. Very much in the shooting distance. Tom Cleverley, maybe a outside foot shot. Or maybe a caller by the number 6 in the Watford shirt. Wow. Free kick straight into the wall and drags his shot wide again on the second attempt. Here's Mendy again with the goal kick. This time around, not playing from the back. They actually want to be in the Watford's half. That is the rarest thing that they have done so far. It's almost 15-16 minutes in the game and they haven't managed to do that. And that's bad. Here's a chance for Chelsea again to actually maybe put the ball inside Watford's half now. As Pulisic is fouled by Cleverley. Wow, Chalobah. Reckless losing the ball there, but Ruben Loftus-Cheek recovers it for him. Chelsea trying too hard to force the pass in the one direction. That is the last thing that you would want to do. Have the ball and lose that instantly. Here is Saul. A lot of people pointed out actually Saul might play as a left wing back, but Thomas Tuchel clearly has ideas that he's not going to be played there. And I think that is the whole pretext of Saul joining Chelsea because he actually wants to play in the midfield role. Because he was being deployed as a number of position in the midfield, on the field, not just in midfield. Wow, Mason Mount has the post. Man. Chelsea, one chance, hit the post, and that's about it. That sums up your night so far. Chelsea so close, man, but yet so far on the scoreline. Here comes Watford again, trying to break on the counter-attack. Christensen reading the danger very well, using his pace there. There's Alonso. Pulisic losing the ball. Alonso and Pulisic not linking up very well there. Chelsea have the ball here. Here's Pulisic. Wow. So back-to-back fouls for Watford. One of them is given, one of them is not. Watford supporters and the players are very upset about Alonso's behavior on the line because that seemed like a heavy foul by the Spaniard. But let's see actually what it was. Lucky fella, not to be booked. I think it is Daniel. Emmanuel Danis there is down. Nice touch again there. Mason with a nice touch as well. Kai in the goal. Aspilicueta, decent pass. And the ref says nothing. But the play continues. Here's Mason Mount. Mason Mount, no way. Turns, tries to cross, still blocked. Here's Aspilicueta. And Aspilicueta passes it back again. Chelsea now in Watford's half. Almost a 20-minute mark. Good things to see here. Chelsea now making steps into the Watford's half. They haven't been able to actually link the midfield with the attackers up top, so that's a worrying thing for Chelsea. So it is now coming to the blue party here. I mean, actually, I should say that. Pulisic again, fall for the third or fourth time. Wow, Mason just saw the replay again, hit the post. Bates Batchman, sorry. Wow, Kai, nice first touch. Aspilicueta trying to set the needle to find Pulisic. Watford again, a chance. Can he get past Rodiger, Josh King? He cannot. Rodiger on the possession station. Wow. It's Saul, man. Losing the ball so carelessly. The pass, half hitting the passes. I'm not sure what happened to this guy, man. He's like 25, 26 years old only. And the way he plays, like he's like so much sure on confidence. Alonso misjudging the flight of the ball. And Watford have it again. First time hit by Lauza. João Pedro and Chalobah, two of the youngsters. Wow, Danny Rose, what a ball though. Chalobah passing it straight to Danny Rose. Danny Rose crosses again. Rodiger clears. Chelsea living dangerously on the edge here, on the back of their own mistakes. You can see how much Chelsea miss Jorginho and Kovacic, man. Or even N'Golo Kante. He dictates everything. He's the manager on the pitch. Whatever you might say, he controls everything. They're relying on Ruben Loftus-Cheek actually to do that, but it's actually not happening in this case. Wow, Aspilicueta, a nice ball. Doesn't come off actually. And the ball is back to Watford's goalkeeper. Is Watford playing one-touch football and Chelsea's off? Wow. That was a physical tussle between Josh King and Chalobah there, taking him to the ground, the Norwegian player. Wow. Wrong footed there, Chalobah. Wow. Chelsea taking the ball back, losing it instantly. Kai Havertz hasn't been able to get in the game so far because the ball or the service has not been good to him. That's the only thing that you can say. A man like Lukaku would also need a service if he's playing the game. Is Mendy taking his time again? This Chelsea team, dude, living dangerously. Very dangerously, I would just say that. Wow, Thomas Tuchel is so animated on the touchline. He wants his players to work hard. Mount trying to press. There is a lack of pressing from Chelsea too this time around. Nothing in terms of actual useful content. There's Chelsea again building from the back, and of course there is no Thiago Silva to actually apply the calmness. Wow. Kai Havertz is offside as well. That hurts, man. To watch these guys play like this, launching long balls and no output in return, it really hurts. He's got to keep those making those runs. I'm sorry, wow. The situation as whole thing put me off, man, totally. Wow. So a quarter of the game now gone officially. If you look at the official match clock, it's 27 minutes on the clock. Of course, as you're seeing on the screen, it's not like that. It's added to the clock. That was the stoppage time, totally. But in the real game, it's like 27 minutes gone. Wow. Watford having no difficulties whatsoever to move the ball in the midfield. They're doing it with ease. Alonso taking his time again. Passes the ball actually to Mason Mount. Mason Mount can do something with the ball. He'll try to cross it. He crosses it. And it's cleared away by Katgard. Chelsea throw in the Watford's half. Like I said, it's been rare for Chelsea actually to get on the ball in Watford's half. So they have to make use of it actually. Kai, Mason, and he scores. It's 1-0 to Chelsea. They are asking for an offside flag, Batchman. Hopefully, it's nothing close to offside. It has been an off night for Chelsea in terms of attack, but the goals have come in from Mason Mount, and hopefully, it will stay. The score will stay put because the VAR hasn't been a friend of Chelsea in the recent past. Hopefully. Let's go, Mason. Get in. Alonso's clearly onside. Alonso gets the ball. Havertz with a nice pass, a tap in, and Mason side foots it inside the net. And that Chelsea, is clearly, like I've mentioned in the earlier stages of this game, Leicester versus Watford in the last weekend, Wari teared them apart, just running down the lines. These guys are very slow. That's what Pulisic did. A dink over the pass, the center halves for Alonso. Alonso made a run. Alonso to Kai, Kai to Mason, and he puts it home. And that's a goal for Chelsea. Thomas Tuchel still not looking happy here because he knows that his team hasn't played well actually to get the lead. They are just in. But this would give a lot of Chelsea players some confidence, so let's not take anything away from it. Chelsea 1-0. Leicester. Sorry, Watford 0. By the way, Chelsea could have been 2-0 up if you are unaware that Mason Mount hit the post actually. Kiko Firmino crossing from his left foot. Christensen getting on the end of it. Wow, that's rather risky by both of these players. Christensen just booting the ball upfield. Saul not realizing that the ball has actually come to him. Here's Sissoko though, trying to cross. A brilliant one. Wow, cleverly just loses his footing there. A brief shout actually from the fans for the penalty, but the Watford players, they did nothing because clearly slept on the floor. Hopefully Chelsea can use this momentum to actually get one more goal. Wow, Saul, decent interception there. Pulisic to Havertz. Havertz has his own goal. He scored, and it's offside. And it's a clear look of frustration on Kai Havertz's face because the Germans, Timo Werner and Kai, since they have come on the Premier League, 20 goals have been offside. For both of these guys are disallowed by VAR by any reasons or so. Let's see what the replay actually shows here. Yep, Pulisic delayed that pass and Havertz is clear day and light offside. So Chelsea could have been 3-0 up, but they are 1-0 up. But looks like Chelsea is building onto the momentum. Saul doing the good work there. Sweeping up the ball of the Watford's feet there in the midfield and then straight up. Pulisic taking the chance. Here's Kiko Firmino on the ball for Watford. Wow, Watford players playing a good 1-2 here. And certainly getting at the end of the ball. Chelsea now in space. Alonso with the ball. He's switching up the play. Here's the ball with Watford. Danny Rose protects it very well against Kai Havertz. And if you've recently joined this stream, there was a lengthy delay, as you can see on the chat, on the messages. A supporter potentially suffered a cardiac arrest in the crowd, and it was alerted by the Chelsea staff and of course Marcos Alonso in the player side that the guy has collapsed, and the medical treatment was given to him, and the players actually went inside the tunnel. The play was abandoned, and the players only agreed to come on when the person who suffered a heart attack will be stabilized or is in the stable condition and will be soon taken to the hospital. So it was briefly around 40 to 45 minutes actually of the stop play, and now the players were back. They did a 5-minute warm-up, but they are back, and after that the story is Chelsea scored 1 goal. And as we were talking, Ruben Loftus-Cheek drops a foul. Chelsea looking high on momentum now after scoring that goal. Of course, after that soon Chelsea scored another goal, but it was disallowed by offside, and clearly days and light offside, but it was a goal nevertheless, and it will give Chelsea a huge boost in terms of the confidence, and they look to again do the similar work on the field, of the ball and on the ball. Wow, Rudiger, very casual with his passing there. Very unlike Rudiger in the recent past. Chelsea there, just losing concentration here for a bit. Like, man, it's obvious, right? People give Jorginho a lot of slack, whatever, but he is the engine of this team. Everything goes through him, and you can clearly see he is the actual engine. So, pass here, pass there, pass there. He's the connection between everything. And you believe it or not, he's physical. He's definitely not. He's in terms of physicality, like pushing the players off the ball, but he really does not feel like a guy who is now being valued enough. Wow, Mendy, what a save. Emmanuel Dennis with the shot. Wow. Rose going down. Mendy, man, though. What a save, though. The former Spurs man earns the Watford side, the Bees, the Hornets, a free kick. He would not actually shy away from scoring a goal or getting an assist against Chelsea or just doing any nuisance to them. Very much in Spurs shirt in earlier days, but now in the yellow shirt. But he still would want a decent goal against Chelsea. He would love it. Cleverly with the free kick, Mendy punches it out. A very unorthodox one. Watford recycle again. Here's Sissoko again. He might just try to put the ball inside the box again one more time. Wow. Watford players just falling on the ground like water, man. Collapsing. And just going down, and it's embarrassing, man. When you look in the replay, he's clearly blatantly driving. Another chance for Watford actually to put the ball inside the box. By the way, we are 40, almost, sorry, not 40, close to 40-minute mark, 37 minutes gone. But if you're seeing the timer on the screen, it's actually not the actual one, because it is in total the stoppage plus the time that has actually happened in the game. So that is the thing. Nice skill by Kai Havertz here. And he just plays it too fine for Ruben Loftus-Cheek, who can't get inside it. Here's João Pedro on the ball. Dangerous sign from Watford here. And he's cut off Saul here. Sissoko on his weaker side. Danny Rose crosses it in. And the ball goes out for the corner. First corner for Watford here. And actually the first corner of the game. So Watford here clearly trying to overload, cause the problems to Chelsea on the onside. He's cleverly with the ball. Rodrigo heading it to safety. And Watford keeps the ball alive. Wow, fair play. Wow. Loftus-Cheek and I don't know who is that. I think it's a Kong that has collided with Loftus-Cheek here in the midfield. Looks like a facial injury though, but Chelsea, mind you, they cannot bear an injury again, man. It would be so dreadful, so dreadful. But with that saying, Chelsea will not hesitate to bring on Jorginho in the second half, but I think he has suffered a knock, so they are actually preferring to stick with this duo, Saul and Loftus-Cheek. It's not their first choice. It's not their even third choice of the duo on the midfield that they would want on the pitch. But hey, injuries, they leave a mark on the club and you have to deal with them. There has already been a lot of stoppage in this game, man. What the heck, dude? Good to see. Loftus-Cheek is back on the feet. If you have just tuned in, we are watching Watford versus Chelsea. The performance from Chelsea, they are in the lead, but I'll just point out, it has been poor, man. It has been poor. They haven't looked like the Chelsea of the recent past, relatively, of course. We saw against Man United, it was not their day, but against the side like Watford, wow, please don't mind me, man. It's almost 2:15 a.m. The kickoff got delayed for 45 minutes. I'm yawning. It's massive L for us because we had to wait. But hey, the stoppage was there because a fan collapsed, of course, due to the heart failure inside the stands. And it's winters here, man. It's making you look like you are actually lazy. And it is the right thing. So a change is being made. A Kong has been taken off. Wow, Thomas Tuchel apparently so loud on the mic on the touchline. Marcos Alonso, unable to judge the flight of the ball, loses it to Watford players. Rudiger weighing the head in the air. And the flags are for offside. Watford lose the ball. The difference is days and light clear, man. Of course, the gameplay that Chelsea is playing right now, they deserve the goal by that sorts, but Watford deserve it too. They have been unlucky, just that. But Chelsea, they haven't looked like. Now, Kai Havertz managed to keep that in. Amazing. Mason inside, crosses, trying for a tap in, and wow, just intercepted by a Watford body there inside the box. And here's Chelsea free kick on the ball. Chalobah managing to protect the ball very well, I must say. Now actually chance for Chelsea centre half to get inside the box and make use of the set piece. Mason does well there to pick the pass. The ball is intercepted by Firmino there because Alonso was in front of Batchman actually to score. Aspilicueta shooting and the ball goes off target and it's a goal kick. Not the greatest of the shots by Aspi, but yeah, a shot that, you know, certainly you can say that, yeah, a shot of a fullback. Wow. Jamie Carragher has just tweeted best player of the world, Mohamed Salah. Did he score? He might have, man. These guys are at the form of their life right now. 2-0 up, Liverpool right now against Everton. It's Henderson and Mohamed Salah on the score sheet. By the way, would you believe that in top 4 of the Premier League top scorers, there are 3 Liverpool players, Jota, Mane and Salah. Mad, absolute madness. Love to see trying to do a shimmy on Sissoko here. Losing the ball in the progress. Wow. Wow. Rudiger just being absolutely turned around by Emmanuel Dennis and he scores. Watford have brought it level. 1-1 and what a deservingly equalizer, man. What could I say? What else could I say? For the first time in the past few months, I would just say that Rudiger looked like a human while defending. Because he has been absolute monster while defending on that left-hand side of the Chelsea centre-half positions. It was a little bit of reflection, but the way he was backing to Emmanuel Dennis, not impressive. He looked like he was hesitating, I'm sorry. That's harsh. But that's the thing of the game. Hits Rudiger's foot also out the way. Yep. Rudiger just a hint of late actually to bring the ball. Sorry, his feet down. Could have prevented him from scoring, but hey, Watford deserve it fair and square. It's almost around half-minute time. We have 2 minutes away from the half time and maybe regulation time if there is again more of it left. If the referee decides it. Here's Chelsea again attacking though. Like I said, man, points, man, it won't be an easy thing, man, for Chelsea. On the nights like these, it won't be an easy thing. Now, Chelsea, another free kick here. Wow. A lot of chaos, I must just say this, happening inside the game right now. Here's Alonso with the free kick. So 5 minutes of additional time being added here. Alonso puts the free kick in. Wow, straight up. Man, Danny Rose. That's proper nonsense, man. Diving up so hard. These players spared no chance, man. And you see that thing in the replay? It's like absolute shambolic when you see the dive happening. Disgrace. Although we are accustomed to players doing that a lot in the Premier League, but it is what it is. It looks bad. Wow, Watford all of a sudden has control of the ball. Danny Rose crossing it first time again. Rodriguez managing to clear it. I think the instructions are very clear for Claudio Ranieri's fullbacks. Get the ball, first time cross it inside the box. Cause trouble for the centre halves and the goalkeeper. And they've managed to do it well. Wow, Saul miscuing it. Here's Emmanuel Dennis. Wow, Chelsea. Anyway, will do for Chelsea. Dennis is all over the pitch, man. And he's down again, injured. Wow. A very late decision, and Alonso is booked this time around. A Watford set piece. Very close to Chelsea box. Yeah, that's reckless from Alonso. That's careless, not reckless. It's careless. He was going nowhere. But Dennis, man, he's wiggling around the box, and Chelsea players like, yeah, he's going to take in every chance that comes out of the position. Alonso on the whole game now thin ice, and we know how he defends. Here's Tom Cleverley now. Watford, wow. That's a pinball moment almost for Watford FC. Kai Havertz, brilliant there. Shielding the ball and getting the foul. Wow, Sissoko driving force behind everything that Watford is doing right now. Dennis with a quick flick. Dennis with a quick pass. And Mendy saves it. Wow, that was brilliant football from Watford players, man. It almost feels like they're playing FIFA here. Like the game, literally. A shimmy by Dennis put Alonso to sleep. Rodriguez does not intercept the ball to Sissoko. Sissoko's shot is not just too powerful. Otherwise, if it is on target, it was a goal. Wow, Alonso, man. And Saul losing the ball again. Saul has the ball this time. Let's see what he can do with it. He crosses it to Havertz. Havertz to Mount, but the ball is too strong. And the foul is again given by the ref. Wow. Watford not happy with the decision. What's the ref gonna do? It's a yellow. The players are showing a lot of agitation here. A lot and lots of agitation here. Some of them might be booked for dissent. Could be a red card as well in the progress. VR will of course take a look at it. Man, it's reckless. It could be a red as well. This could be well and truly a red as well. He got the ball, but he got a lot of the man as well. That could be checked by VAR well and truly. He's saying I've got the ball, but he actually swiped through the whole man. Because it is a two-footed challenge anyhow. And he's not landing anywhere near it. He might just get the benefit of the doubt because of getting the ball, but he went through the man for sure. Mason's still in a lot of pain, still down on the field. And that's alarming for Chelsea in itself. Claudio Ranieri, Ekong holding the red. Hopefully, it's not something bad signaled by VAR. I don't think it will be a red card, but they'll just give him the benefit of the doubt that, yeah, it's not going to be a red because you got the ball actually, but you got the half of the man as well. So, wow, meanwhile, Everton have scored. Wow, and the ref being booed so hard actually. It will be a free kick by Chelsea though. Marcos Alonso with the free kick. I don't think he's going to score from there. That's too far. He's lining up with the free kick. Although we are already above the 5 minutes of additional time that was added. And we are again going over and over the time. Because this match has already had a lot of stoppage. Alonso flicking it. Watford cleared it. And that's half time finally. And a huge view from the supporters for the ref. And that's about it for this half. I'll see you guys soon with the action. Soon again back. Yes, sir, Timo Werner. I'm coming to save you in the next half. Been long. Yeah, it's been long, man. But glad you're here. Welcome to the stream. Thiago Silva is coming on, by the way. Just saw on my screen. Welcome, lads. Yeah, Saul Niguez has been taken off, and it is another night for Saul that he won't be in the lineup. That's a fair bit of assumption that his Premier League days have not gone well so far. But with that saying, Chelsea have looked below average in this game against Watford, man. Danny Rose is having a ball since the time he has come on. Already this game has seen plenty of stoppage, man. If you are unaware, this game was stopped due to the... I don't want to repeat it again, but it was the story it is. A fan suffered a cardiac arrest in the stands, and he was given the treatment necessarily, and the players went off for the time being, and the play was abandoned. But sooner or later, it was confirmed that he's now stable, and he has been taken to the hospital, so the situation will be better. But here again, Thiago Silva is back again. Most probably part of the center half position. Christensen on the right side. Chalobah, I think, more so in the midfield now. That is the plan, I think. By the way, lads, if you have just tuned in, drop a like on the stream. It helps the channel to grow massively. And your support always means a lot. Here's Chelsea again. Chalobah now is playing in the midfield, central midfield position. Still no Jorginho, surprisingly. Because that is the whole case. Man, Emmanuel Dennis has been phenomenal. Rudiger has made him look like, I don't know what kind of a player he is today. But kudos to him. He has been doing well this season. Debut Premier League season. I think Mason will play a much more deeper role and will help Chalobah alongside Ruben and Loftus-Cheek, and of course Azpilicueta might just tuck in inside on the right hand side of the midfield and try to help them. That's what it already means. A like for like role, but Saul Niguez's Premier League move hasn't been a success at all. It hasn't been a success at all, and we can repeat it again and again. Because it's the second time he has been taken off at the 45-minute mark, and he clearly looked like he's not enjoying the ball, man, out there. He was dispossessed, he was losing the ball, carelessly passing, half-lofted passes, and you really don't want to drop points if you are going to drop points at all like that. But by the way, Chelsea have looked just average, man. This Watford side, I don't know what they're doing, but they're enjoying the ball right now. And Danny Rose is having an amazing game, by the way. Came off as a substitute, 12th minute mark, in place of Messina, who suffered a hamstring injury. But nevertheless, is making most of it. Kai Havertz intercepts the ball. Still has it. Nutmegs the player. Still has it. And is fouled again. I'm not sure whether the... Okay, that's not a yellow. Wow. Advantage foul. That's not a yellow, ref. Come on. Cathcart. Living on the fine margins here. Rudiger, by the way, for the first time looked human while conceding a goal to Dennis, because Dennis literally was having him on skates. He was slipping him around, and basically a little bit of reflection, but Dennis had him, man. Dennis had him. You have to give credits to Dennis. Wow, Christensen pushing up further up in the field this time, but good to see Chelsea making a first straight away in the second half, because unlike the first half, they didn't look like they were absolutely in control of the game, and it looked like clearly they were the second favorites despite being on the top of the table. Chelsea just have to take the game, man, step by step. Just don't lose focus, because forget the first half. It is what it is, but now you have to take care of the things that are going on right now. Chalobah, a bit shabby, losing the ball. By the way, did I mention Sissoko? Sissoko has been immaculate. Wow, what a ball. Josh King. Wow. Off the line by Rudiger. Chelsea again living on the edge. Wow, Loftus-Cheek, what a pass to Pulisic. Pulisic is pulled wide. Pulisic shooting. Can he shoot again? Wow. Wow. I cannot believe my eyes what I've just seen. Trying to put a shot out of the whole place after having the control of whole position for the last 34 seconds. He just couldn't do it. Loftus-Cheek couldn't do it. Same for Pulisic. Very confident defending from Watford there, by the way. Standing your ground. Do not give your opponent a space or an inch actually to take the shot. Offensive rebounds. Check. And it's been massive. And by the way, the likes of Thiago Silva coming in is a case that, yeah, we need a good centre half passer actually in the backside. That is what he'll do. And he'll actually bring some calmness inside the back, because there was a lot of chaos actually when it was happening around in the first half. And this time around, it's more like, yeah, I'm going to deal with it, because Thiago Silva, man, we just cannot forget that he's 37 years old. Again, wow, a Ruben Loftus-Cheek tap in and is missed by Pulisic. Lads, would you believe it? Pulisic just went inside the net rather than hitting the ball. He just had to side foot it. He just went on to headbutt the net. Nothing but net. But yeah, it's only Pulisic in the net. It's so annoying, dude. It's so annoying. So it could have been 4 goals actually. By the way, if you have just tuned in, Mason Mount hit the post before we took the 1-0 lead. 1 goal offside. Third goal, we had a chance, a very close one. Got ruled out again. So fourth one this time around was a chance, a clear tap in. We couldn't have scored an easier goal. And by the way, I'll tell you something. The Watford players, they have been superb, taking their chances. First time around crossing. Danny Rose is enjoying a lot on the right hand side. I'm not sure if it is Azpilicueta's pace or whatever, but he's really having a ball. Reece James wouldn't have allowed that at all. Reece James would have just battled him. And Rudiger, so far, all the Premier League games that I've watched this season, Champions League, I've always said the statement. He left his counterpart bamboozled. For the first time, like I said, Rudiger looked human today when Dennis scored a goal on him. Very unlike Rudiger. He was backing inside his own net. But regardless, man, it's Chelsea's time. And for God's sake, man, pointing out we haven't conceded a goal from the open play, pointing out a goal we haven't conceded from open play. Okay, we conceded a goal against Man United in open play. It happened. Jinxed it. Again, commentator started the game by saying, Chelsea haven't conceded a goal from the open play away to home. Then again, you have it. Dennis scored. Jinx it, people, jinx it. That's all what you're good at. And it couldn't even come at the worst times, man. It really couldn't even come at the worst times. I just feel like it's like totally haunting nightmare when you are on the back of the injuries. But I think for some players, it might be end of the road. It's only 14 games in the Premier League, but I think Saul is really done. Because Thomas Tuchel is not really playing in the Champions League, any sort of the games. And going forward, we have the games that are all important. So why would you actually play him? Here's Havertz cutting inside. And he's onside still. Has the ball. Azpilicueta. Wow. Here's Bashman again. Chance for Chelsea here. Half a chance, but chance for Chelsea here. By the way, lads, if you have just tuned in, drop a like on the stream. It helps the channel to grow massively. If you are a fellow Chelsea supporter, you're most welcome here. Drop a like, subscribe. And of course, feel free to drop a message. Let me know about your thoughts on the game actually. Because this game hasn't been nothing short of a drama. And of course, controversy, tragedy. Wow, Pulisic just bumped into the advertising hoarding. And that was like a head-first WWE move. He's in pain. He is in a lot of pain. Wow, that was a slip. I think he slipped on some bottles that was on the side. Beverages, and over the mic that was on the side, on the left-hand side. All of the Chelsea players have gathered over near him. Let's see the replay. There was a push from Ekong. Yep, that was a clear push. Will the VAR look at it? Ekong is already on a yellow card, and that's a cynical one. Pulisic putting out his best argument to the ref. That's a foul, man. That's gotta be a foul. Referee saying, nope, I'm having none of it. Meanwhile, Romelu Lukaku is warming up. Things you love to see, but I think this game badly needs Jorginho, man. This game badly needs Jorginho, and Jorginho, Chelsea need that control. They're lacking it. They have been lacking it, of course, since Saul was playing, Loftus-Cheek was playing. And like I mentioned, man, Loftus-Cheek, as phenomenal as good he is with his body, you know, people usually say a guy with such huge stature, so good on the ball, dribbling, can shoot as well, can protect the ball, but he's doing that dribbling in the defensive side of the half. Sometimes without the likes of Jorginho and Kante in the midfield, nah, it looks really ugly. It looks really ugly. I can just say that. And I really hope that Chelsea can sort it out, man. But as Thomas Tuchel mentioned that he actually suffered a knock, so it's a match-made decision to play Jorginho or no. We don't have any insight that he will actually get on the field or no. But here's Chelsea though playing. Danny Rose. The luck of this guy is not running out, man. Double ricochet. And he's got the ball again. He's got the foul for Watford again. The luck of this guy is not seemingly running out at all. 55 minutes gone on the clock, by the way, lads. 55 minutes gone. We are watching Watford versus Chelsea. It's 1-1 in match day 14 of the Premier League. Not the weekend, but the midweek fixtures. Here's again chance for Watford actually to put the ball inside, and they'll do so. Alonso defending. Alonso, remember, already on a yellow card, so on a thin ice cushion here. It's hard for Chelsea players actually to play all the games, right? The only concern for Thomas Tuchel when he was asked about the left wing spot, as Chilwell is injured already, he said that Marcus Alonso will probably have to play 3 games inside the 6 days. And I think that will happen probably because he's going to play the whole game like this. And then again, another game that is on the weekend. And again, on the weekend, we play West Ham. So it's not going to be easy. Chelsea have their wall, like back against the wall. They cannot complain. It's December. The fixtures are only going to pile up and it's going to get tough. Meanwhile, as we were talking, Azpilicueta gets fouled by Danny Rose. I'm not sure what Danny Rose is doing. Holding him by his whole arm. Is that WWE? Are you CM Punk or Bobby Lashley? Find yourself a better name or a WWE character that you are relatable most to. But that was ugly. Nevertheless, chance for Chelsea centre-halves to push up. A delivery that is not successful. Watford protecting the ball, but getting the ball out of the play. It's Chelsea ball. Rodiger crossing in. Cleared well by Kapkan. Here's Joshua King. Wow. He's on goal, João Pedro. Mendy was right out and somehow just prevents the goal. Mendy was off the line. Man, I have been so concerned about Mendy's communication in the last 2 games. Man United game, the UA game, the passes were so off. Unlike Mendy, just the way to put it out, man. I don't know if there was any communication or no, but the defenders were running. Mendy did make a save, but I think he has injured himself in the process. But that's a good save, man. That's a good save. I would take that passing thing back. That's a good save. Mendy making himself much more bigger and making a tackle. Tom cleverly actually follows through and hits Mendy on one of his knees. And that in itself would hurt very much. And there is no case of absolute offside here. They're checking the replay because Tom cleverly is inside his own half. But that looked very bad for Chelsea, man. If I'm being very honest. That kind of a through ball, if you can thread it through that space, that looked bad. He's walking, Mendy. Looks good, looks good. He's walking inside his own half, inside the own box. Wow, and another breaking news for Chelsea. Trevor Chalobah is also down, and he's holding his calf, and that's surely not a good sign. Injuries, man. Chelsea. Name a better duo this time of the season. When it's all about kick and run, they're all falling down like pieces of wood. Because we have fixtures piling up like, man. It's really hard, man. Also, guys, if you've just tuned in, by the way, we already had like a 42 to 45 minutes of stoppage in the first half because the game was interrupted and abandoned due to a medical stoppage inside the half, and that seemed bad enough. Meanwhile, Hakim Ziyech is getting prepped up on the bench. And I think it looks like a hamstring issue for Trevoh Chalobah. Yeah, he's taking his time actually to walk. Hopefully that's not too bad because Chelsea, man, long-term injuries, dude. I think it's just the case of Chalobah pulling up. That's a hamstring issue for sure. Hakim Ziyech is coming on. It would be interesting that who actually drops in the midfield. So this could be a clear indication that Jorginho is actually not fit to play because Ziyech is coming on and this might see Mason Mount dropping inside the play. This is again tactically Chelsea all over the place on the nights like these. I saw a similar kind of a thing in Turin when we were playing against Juventus. Chalobah in the midfield, Loftus-Cheek in the midfield, Havertz on the field, Lukaku on the field, Werner on the field. It looked like we were all over the place. I think, yeah, it will be Mount actually who will drop in the midfield as a number 8. Yep. Rudiger, man. Rudiger showing some grit against Dennis now, but hopefully he keeps keeps up the whole thing for the whole 30 minutes that are left. So 60 minutes gone officially on the clock, lads. 60 minutes gone after all those stoppages. Wow, Watford somehow have stolen the ball. Dennis is moving like, man, so much agility all of a sudden in this game. He still has the ball. Chelsea players finding it hard to get the ball off him. They get it somehow now, but Dennis has it back. And the ball goes out for a goal kick. Couldn't actually make a through pass. But Dennis is causing a lot of problems, especially down the left-hand side of the Chelsea's defense. Marcos Alonso and Rudiger, there seems to be a lack of communication there. And it goes without saying that that is the most vulnerable part. Marcos Alonso's side. There's one substitution left. Could be actually that Lukaku gets some few minutes or Jorginho. It's a choice of Tuchel, but already 60 minutes on the clock. We are forced into the changes. Watford again defending the attack very well there. Wow. Here's João Pedro. Again, playing the lines very well. João Pedro crossing it inside. Rudiger clearing it well. Wow. Here's Firmino in a lot of space. Alonso, can he block the cross? He cannot. Thiago Silva gets it out. And Alonso headed for safety. So Chelsea having to do a lot of work here. A lot of work here. It's really hard, man, to keep up pace with this game because these guys are just going in and out, in and out, in and out. By the way, lads, if you have just tuned in, we are done with 60 minutes, 1 hour clock done. Watching Watford versus Chelsea, Vicarage Road, match day 14 of the Premier League. Already a tragic stop in the game, as you can see the comments in the chat. A game was stopped due to the medical stoppage inside the crowd. A person suffered a cardiac arrest. But as the word says, he has been taken care of. He has been stabilized. And Chelsea, they haven't looked good. The word on the street is they're still struggling. Here's Pulisic. Here's Azpilicueta. Hakim Ziyech has just come on. And the injury concerns are Chalobah is off. Mason Mount has dropped inside the midfield with Ruben Loftus-Cheek, and this is the most abrupt midfield that you would see actually Chelsea ever play, because this is not the first, third, fourth or fifth, sixth choice midfield. And Saul once again had a nightmare, a shocker, and that's why for the second time this season, after that game against Aston Villa, he has been withdrawn at the 45-minute mark, and it's gonna hurt his confidence, but it is what it is. And by the way, lads, if you're new around here, consider liking and dropping a sub. It helps the channel to grow massively, and you being here, of course, is a huge plus in itself. One more change. Who will Thomas Tuchel bring on? Jorginho or Lukaku? Someone who can change the game, probably. Mendy again sending it short. Kai Havertz with a brilliant take. Ziyech. Hakim Ziyech. Maybe he can show something, because the last two games he has been kind of in form, putting in good deliveries. Similar cannot be said about all the other players on the field. They are just finding out their rhythm, because the last two games have been kind of abrupt. Since that Burnley draw, there has been a bit of, a nerve inside the mind of the people that, yeah, it's not going the right way. So Watford now defending inside their own half. Chelsea. And Ziyech fouls João Pedro and is booked on his first foul. Straight up. He knew exactly Ziyech what he was doing there, but I think that's a pretty harsh call actually to give him a yellow. That's nowhere near a yellow. Thomas Tuchel is so furious, man. Like literally so furious. How can you give that a yellow? Chelsea have to find a way, man, because Liverpool are cruising, City are cruising, and Alonso again having to do a lot of chasing here. He does so. Dennis, he's not playing as a striker, I'll tell you. He swapped places with Joshua King, and he's on the right wing side, and he's causing a lot of troubles to Rudiger and Alonso. Yes, Rudiger as well. Rudiger, for the first time this season, monstrous performances. Usually you will associate him with like bamboozling the players, but this time around he's looked human. And yeah, I think it will not be Jorginho actually. So Jorginho is actually going to rest. Thomas Tuchel is not going to risk him. Of course, we have West Ham on the weekend, and then again Lukaku might come on. Wow, Mason Mount misplacing a pass here, very rare thing. Here's Danny Rose with Joshua King. Loftus-Cheek and Mason Mount, a lot of defensive duties here. Wow, Watford shooting from 45 yards out. Chelsea will not have a worry about it. They can deal with it all day long. Thomas Tuchel is still furious on the touchline, man. Because this is a side that is well more capable of punching above their weight. And they haven't shown the results actually on the pitch because they are not putting in the work. The synergy is not there. The communication is not there. And they are playing like individuals. That is what is actually harming them. I thought that this game would perfectly suit Werner, but apparently there was also a quote-unquote knock for Werner. They said that he might not be fit. Because I saw Vardy playing against against Watford, and it looked like this guy was having fun running down the lines. So the pace of the guy like Werner would have been very handy, but anyhow, here will be Lukaku on. Meanwhile, in just a minute of time, he's getting some instructions from Anthony Barry here. Havertz here. A lot of space for Havertz here. Can he shoot? He shoots. Wow, straight into the hands of Bachmann. For a brief moment of time, it looked like actually Havertz could get something decent on the goal, but absolutely nothing comes of it. Straight into the hands of the goalkeeper. Nothing even to worry about. A slight deflection, but nothing else to worry about. Did not like the lineup at all. Yeah, man. The lineup is confusing as hell. I realize you are forced by the injuries, but that's not a good way to mess around with the situation. You know, there is always a feeling just before you go to the match that, yeah, it's not going to go in your favor. It is one of those feelings right now. Alonso almost, again, a yellow card offense. Could have been a red card if that was in his path, by the way. Here's Ziyech. Wow. Just overhitting it and overcooking it, Hakim Ziyech. Gameplay with Marsui. For what, bro? For what? You're not having a ball here, man. But I agree with you, bro. For the lineup part, it's confusing as hell. But the injuries, they're not making it look easy, right? Here's Ziyech again. Ziyech, ZH. Maybe if I call him ZH, he'll score. Here's Lukaku meanwhile. And Aspilicueta is coming off. There could be a change of shape. And for the first time in a while, Tony Rudiger has been handed the armband, captain's armband. Yeah. And I think Christian Pulisic might play as a wingback here. I think that is what will happen here. So an offensive, very much an offensive change. Pulisic in the right wing back spot here, losing the ball. Defensively, he won't. Oh wow. Pulisic straight up, a challenge. A two-footed one. Got the ball though. Watford will win. I hope not, man. I hope not. But I'll give something of a hint to you. Watford is having a time of their life. Even though Watford have a lot of players injured as well. Danny Rose came on as a substitute. At the 12th minute mark, he's having a ball. But the tactics of Ranieri are working. Never back down. That's the tactics of Claudio Ranieri. Since the Leicester days, never back down against the big teams, because more than oftentimes, not in particular, but I think it is the best time to play Chelsea right now. After that United's draw, a week before, Juventus win, the Burnley draw. It's not a good sign for Chelsea at all, but still. But just the saying is, before we go ahead and make statements, without Reece James and Chilwell, Chelsea look very much different. Wow. Lukaku couldn't control the ball there. Rudiger. A very risky pass. And Mendy has to clear it. What a game this is turning out to be. And you know, this is the fact, one more thing. A run-up of fixtures. In December, the fixtures pile up. It's hard. It's hard to actually deal with all the things. James, yeah, he said that he is actually not fit totally. In the last press conference, the day before yesterday only, he mentioned Werner, James and Jorginho, they will be a match fit decision. And so far, as per the word, James has been left out. Jorginho is on bench. I thought this games need Jorginho a lot. He would come on in the second half to give command, but I think he's not going to risk him because there is a lot of games ahead. Same for Werner. He's not fit. Yeah, man. Sleeping with a heavy heart. This game, you know, already has seen a lot of stoppage and I've lost a lot of sleep. I don't want to lose more sleep because it will certainly take a lot more time to digest the loss if it happens though. Here's Pulisic though, moving forward. It's just that this team doesn't feel like it will connect from back to front the way they are playing right now. Wow, what a head by Alonso. There's Mounts. Oh my god, what a goal. Mason Mount assists a goal. Wow. On the off days, the man steps up. By the way, Hakim Ziyech, the last 3 games, he has been phenomenal. And I will point out again, once again, Chelsea have been poor throughout the night. This goal was against the play very much against the play. But Chelsea, they have scored just a touch of magic there. Come on, Chelsea, what you playing at? What do you mean, man? What you playing at? Welcome to the stream anyhow, though. Alonso, a brilliant header, man, there for Mason Mount. And that's a what class finish, man, Hakim Ziyech. Keep it on target. Smooth as you like. And just, lads, hold on to it, please. Hold on to it. It's 3 a.m. in the night, I'm screaming. It's 3 a.m. in the night and I'm screaming. Believe that. And by the way, lads, if you're new around here, or if you're here for the first time, I would put that way, please drop a like on the stream, subscribe. It helps the channel to grow massively. And if you're a fellow Chelsea supporter, that would do a deal good. We'll win. We'll get through this season. Hopefully. Back the Blues. Here's Tom Cleverley. It's a goal, yes, sir. It's a goal for Chelsea. Still, a quarter of the game to go. Sorry, not the quarter. 1/4 of the game to go. 15 minutes or so. Hopefully, Chelsea can see it out, man. Just play confident, man. Just play confident. This team, they haven't shown the confidence today. Basically, the league leaders don't play like this. That is the whole thing I'm talking about. Like I was talking about, man, Rudiger, who has looked monstrous throughout the whole season and the past season that went by, he was backing to the player like Dennis, man. Against Watford, I'll give you Dennis is having a good season, whatever, but he's backing towards his own goalkeeper. And that is usually not the case with Rudiger this season. Wow. Lukaku can get it. Lukaku on goal. Lukaku on goal. Shot blocked. Wow. Just an attempt though. And it's offside. And the play will be halted again. Hakim Ziyech is still down. And it's a head injury. And he's in pain. Talk a better combination on the night, man, again. Injury once again. Can we deal with another injury? Hakim Ziyech is also one of our informed players of the past 2 games if you have been watching him. That was a straight head behind his head. And believe you, man, Hakim Ziyech is not a guy who is known for having a good muscle structure or physicality, if you would put it that way, because sort of quote-unquote fragile, but Chelsea have not played well. They've had their issues, but they are, of course, ahead. That's what that matters, like the commentator said. This game, I think, for the past 4 or 5 years, I've never seen a game that has so many stoppages like this one. Like literally. Of course, the tragic one was, like we mentioned, you can see in the chat as well, the fan in the stadium suffering the heart attack, and then he was given the defibrillator on the spot CPR, and then again stabilized, and the players went inside. The match was abandoned. It was like 40 to 45 minutes. The players came out. The players only came out on the pretext of that if the guy has been stabilized and taken to the hospital, then only we'll play. So that actually happened. Yo, let's go. 11:41 for me is 3:11 a.m. man. It's 3:11 a.m. I appreciate the support though. I appreciate the support. Any time is valuable here. If you're coming here, any time is valuable. Whether it's 11:41, it's 3:01 a.m. But that's what we do here. I love Chelsea. I support Chelsea. Whether it's 3:15 a.m., 4 a.m., I'm here. Chelsea have to just do one thing, man. They have to re-energize. Of course, this game is not done. There could be another goal in it, but they have to re-energize and take care of the things for the weekend. Because West Ham will not spare you. West Ham have good finishers, man. They can actually take the game to you in all fairness and all departments. So with this kind of behavior particularly, it's not going to be a good thing. Thomas Tuchel, a very animated figure inside the Chelsea half. Wow, a very unnecessarily offside place holded by Lukaku here. Watford, please don't do a madness here. Here's Firmino. Finally, some decisions going in Chelsea's favor by the ref side. Dennis, by the way, if you are unaware of Emmanuel Dennis, debut Premier League season seems to be doing pretty great. Had Man United on toes as well. Had Chelsea on toes as well so far. Has, and because it has not ended, of course. And then again, if you are wondering where did he come from, he's a Nigerian international and he joined from Club Brugge in the summer transfer window. Mount Alonso linking up again. Mount losing the ball in the process. Mount, of course, playing as a number 8 role after the departure of Chalobah. Chalobah, of course, another breaking news. A hamstring injury on the horizon for Chelsea. So injuries are lining up for Chelsea and they cannot seem to do anything about it, man. Anything. It hurts me to say it, but I think this injury thing will crumble a lot of hopes. I think it all started with the Ben Chilwell's injury. Chelsea have been unlucky. In the game against Malmo, when they were like handsomely winning 4-0, Werner Lukaku got injured. Then again against Juve 4-0, it was Ben Chilwell's injury, the ACL one. So, is Lukaku running? Lukaku bowling Kafgad. Ani Kong. Wow. Rudiger's down on the floor here. Chelsea playing on though. Oh, Hakim Ziyech, just a missed touch here. Wow, Pulisic. Oh, he cannot. The ball is well protected by Kafka there. Yeah, man, we need. I'll tell you, it's not about how they were playing against Man United. It's all about Chelsea are playing so poor, so they are more likely to concede. Forget the Man United thing. Man United was like playing so horribly that day. Similar can happen to Chelsea. If you play horrible, the match can turn around in seconds. I just feel, man, the way these Watford players are wiggling around, jiggling with the ball, doing a little shimmy, all of them have so suddenly become so agile. The composure has gone up. The balance and the reactions on the players have gone up. By the way, the system actually has helped Chelsea after the substitutions. Kai Havertz plus just playing off Lukaku as a number 10. Ziyech just deeper, actually to help again Ruben Loftus-Cheek and Mason Mount and some of the defensive work, not all, but yeah, some of the body's presence inside. It helps in because Watford was like overcrowding the area, man, so badly, and it felt like almost on the certain point of time they will just keep on taking the chances. Wow. Here's Emmanuel Janis again on his left foot. Wow, Mendy off his line. Cross by Firmino. And Chelsea headed out. Pulisic on the defensive side, not where you actually want him to be. Danny Rose inside, heads it. Thiago Silva drops to the ground. Wow. Here's Kai Havertz. Not a lot of Chelsea bodies to pass to. Protecting the ball very well, turning a Kong. Passing it to Mason Mount again. And Chelsea. The players allowed to continue its advantage. Crossing in. Hakim Ziyech heading it. And the ball is collected by Bachman. Man. Yes, man. No time for slip-ups at all, man. No time for slip-ups at all. You're correct. The thing is, the likes of Liverpool and City, the way they are playing, it's so dominant. But I'll tell you one thing. During the championship run, you know, there is a lot of quotes like, yeah, there are some of the games where you can actually anticipate to play bad and then still get points. At the end of the day, it is all that 3 points counts. But the fact is, we are piling up on these kind of performances. And injuries, of course, are a, what do we call it? A curse on us right now. So whatever it is not helping up to grow. But right now, the things as they stand is, Chelsea need to do the working. 8 minutes left or so. And I think Claudio Ranieri will bring on Isaac Success, if I'm not wrong. If that is the guy. Here's Hakim Ziyech. Wow, what a pass for Pulisic. Again, Pulisic has to take the ball wide. Pulisic crossing. Havertz. And Backman has the goal. Covered easily. Wow, Christensen anywhere will do for him. Rudiger heads it out. Loftus-Cheek gets rid. Chelsea has the ball again. And Hakim Ziyech is still down on the field after that penalty area incident. Man, the stoppage in this thing. And I think that was a clear advantage played by the ref there. So he will be booked, the Watford player. Man, the last thing that I want is Hakim Ziyech getting injured. This guy started the season phenomenally. if that Super Cup dislocation of the shoulder didn't happen, he might have gone to do wonders, because he was like 5 goals in 2 or 3 preseason games. Didn't look same since his comeback after the shoulder dislocation, but since the last 2 games, he has really provided input, trying to contribute defensively, trying to press, trying to play much more deeper, trying to have much more impact, and just be himself. Like the Hakim Ziyech we actually bought, because this is the kind of performance we want. He is actually helping us link our midfield to the attack, unlike the times we are having trouble, because you have clearly seen when Jorginho is unavailable, Kante is unavailable, Kovacic is unavailable, we are literally struggling to find the balls to the strikers and to actually scoring goals. And bloody hell, even Chilwell and Reece James are not available, so we need the likes of Hakim Ziyech to do well. And injury on these kind of players, it's a mess. It's a huge mess, man. But it's really, man, it's really sad. And the amount of stoppage in this game, man, wow. This game was supposed to be done with, like, I think around 20 to 25 minutes ago. That game should have been done. Or maybe more, man, even maybe more, 30 minutes ago. Danny Rose again, fouling Ziyech here. By the way, lads, if you've just tuned in, we are watching Watford versus Chelsea. Watford 1, Chelsea 2, match day 14 of the Premier League. And as the thing stands, Chelsea will remain at the top of the Premier League table, but only if they can shut the shop for the last 5 minutes and the additional time. So that is about it. And if you're, of course, new around here, drop a like on the stream. It helps the channel to grow. And one more thing, sub if you haven't. And one more thing, if you love the FPL, the Fantasy Premier League, the link is in the description. Please feel free to join. It's free, absolutely free, and it's a competitive madness. I would love to see how you guys play. Well, Chelsea, a few things go in their favor now. Sissoko has cooled down a bit. I'm just not jinxing it, but he has cooled down a bit, man. And once again, guys, welcome to the stream. If you have just joined in, it's awesome to have you here. Here's Emmanuel Dennis, a shimmy, and breathe. He fouls Loftus Cheek there. I almost thought that Rudiger took his legs. It's not Dennis. I think it's Isaac Success. Oh, sorry, it's Nagakia. I'm sorry. I beg your pardon. It's Nagakia. It's not Isaac Success. But Ranieri, man, he still has it though, right? Pulling up some big strings right in the Premier League. Because these type of games, they don't come by fluke. The opposition makes stuff for the bigger teams. Here's Watford booting the ball off field. Alonso. Firmino getting up this time around. Wow, Watford in plenty of space here. Dennis in a lot of space here. Left or right foot. Dennis swing to... Wow, Watford, no. Wow. It's a corner and a rare set piece chance again for Watford. Corners have been a rare sighting in this game, man. I think Chelsea haven't had a corner in this game at all. I think this is the second or third one for Watford only. Massive set play for Watford, man. Massive. Wow. And guys, one thing has just happened here. You might have just seen my camera, my image disappearing. That's because the camera battery can only operate for 2.5 hours, or maybe actually 3 hours. That's about it. And we are well over the match, and because we had a 45-minute stoppage due to the fan suffering a heart attack moment inside the first half, my camera is very much off the battery. Unfortunately, you cannot see me, but you can hear me. It's the last 2 minutes of the game. I hope you guys will bear with me. Here's Watford again. And losing the ball here, Watford. Some risky passes being played by Chelsea at the back. Here's Marcos Alonso switching up the play front to back. Wow. Sissoko getting past Mason easily. Hakim Ziyech. Wow. Amazing work there. But instantly Danny Rose has it back. Danny Rose switching the play left to right. Dennis again chasing Marcos Alonso. Marcos Alonso, my man. This time winning the battle against Dennis when it matters the most. Marcos Alonso's red face. Chelsea with the throw in. I'm assuming there will be another 5 or 6 minutes of stoppage time actually added. How many minutes left? Bro, it's 18. It's 90th minute right now actually. The stoppage time, I think there will be like 4 or 5 minutes. And if you've just tuned in, my camera's battery has died. The camera battery works only for 3 hours, and the football game is not supposed to be 3 hours long in the Premier League. But as you know, a lot of stoppage today, a lot of unfortunate incidents, and again injuries. I think this has been one of the most lengthiest match I've seen in the recent times, maybe in 4 or 5 years. 6 added minutes, by the way, lads. 6 added minutes. Still time for Watford here. Lukaku so far hasn't been involved a lot in the game. Ziyech, Havertz, and Mason Mount are. Wow. That's a careless ball there. Chelsea has to pick a foul here. Oh my god, Thiago Silva, you beauty. If you have just tuned in, lads, we are 6 minutes into the stoppage time, and if you're wondering why there is no face cam or whatever, my camera's battery has just died, and apparently the battery lasts for only 3 hours. The football game in the league doesn't last for 3 hours because it has been lengthy stoppages throughout this whole game. Unfortunately, I will not be able to show my face once again during this live stream. And it's a Chelsea conceding another corner here. Man, no matter what stick you give to Alonso, this time around, this guy, it's working. He's doing his job. Danny Rose has to get this delivery right for Watford right away. Everybody back for Chelsea defending. Lukaku heads it out. Pulisic trying to edge it. Oh my god, come on, man. That's not a foul, ref. But this has been the case throughout the whole thing. Watford players dropping down the ground, and it's like, yeah, like water. Only 4 minutes left of the stoppage time. Chance for Watford to get the ball inside. A dead set piece, dead ball chance. Not maybe a shooting opportunity. Maybe he can go for a goal, but Kuchka, this guy can shoot. I think he's going for the shot as well. Please don't mind pronunciation. Pronunciation because I don't have an accent. I think he's going for the goal. Wow. He does strike it. He does strike it very well, and it's down onto the goal and above the goal. Yeah, it's a lot. Anything can happen, but we keep our fingers crossed. Nicely parried away by Mendy there. But the most important thing is Mendy kept it over the crossbar, not left and right. 3 minutes left now, lads. 3 minutes left. What a moment that would have been, man. What a moment that would have been, like, really. Wow. Chelsea fans are not giving up on the ball. And lads, do realize that there will be more added time if you keep on wasting it. Here's Watford. Danny Rose cleared on the corner. Near post by Havertz. Wow. The ball's back with Watford. Loftus-Cheek is foul. And the ball is back with Chelsea. And that is what they want. Massive pressure there, man. Chelsea, Loftus-Cheek. Ekong, there is no need for actually to foul Loftus-Cheek there. Just stay man to man. Can Chelsea rub salt into the wounds of Watford here? Ooh, intercepted well there. Chelsea have the ball here with Mason. Mason has actually got the liberty to play more on the further left side because of Hakim Ziyech dropping in the field. Wow, Mason being fouled there. Referee says there's nothing in it. So 95 minutes done. Last minute of the stoppage time. Potentially there will be some more because of the corner that happened. The ball arrived very late actually for the actual set piece. Watford looking for some cheap free kicks now on the way out. Alonso taking no prisoners, not no chances, because this time of the game around, it's very risky. The clearance goes as far as to Bashman. He's booting the ball upfield. Last minute of the stoppage time, lads. Josh King protects it very well. Ekong has the ball out. Pulisic. The ball goes out for a throw-in. We are done with the stoppage time, lads. We are done with the stoppage time. This is stoppage on stoppage. What will the ref do here? Thiago Silva just boosts the ball up. And the ball goes out for another corner. And referee is allowing the time. We are in the 97th minute. 96 minutes are done. I think the keeper will most probably call up too. Yep, the keeper is going up. Marchman is going up as well. Chelsea defends it. And it's done. And it's three points for Chelsea on a long night. On a long night of football. What a long night of football. That was hard fought. 3 points. And it was so worth it. The fight. And once again, guys, for everyone who tuned into the stream, Wasit, Marshall, Isaac, thank you guys for tuning in. It always means a lot. And up the Chelsea, up the Blues. And it was lovely having you here. For those of you, everyone who subbed, you like the stream. It helps the channel to grow massively. And once again, I'm sorry. The camera died out. It's 3 hours. I cannot do anything more than that. It's like that sometimes. Because the game actually had a lot of stoppage. But hopefully that guy is actually okay. That fan who suffered the cardiac arrest. And he has been stabilized and sent to the hospital. But at the end of the day, it's all love. We won 3 points. And thank you for guys always supporting. And I'll see you guys soon in the next stream. Bye bye. Take care. Peace.